Good evening, guys. Happy Halloween. Another episode of Craft and Cookery here with me, Brandon. What we're making tonight is one of my favorite things to make. It's called gumbo. If you hear me stirring something, it's this right here. It's called a roux. It's already cooked. What a roux is it's a thickening agent of equal fats of fat to flour ratio. There's three different types: a white, a blonde, and a dark roux, as you see here. Dark roux are typically used for gumbo to help thicken it up. Now, the pan's all nice and hot. What we have in here, we have onions, celery, and green bell pepper, aka the Holy Trinity. This is always used in gumbo. I believe typically it's used in Cajun and Creole cooking, and almost all of it, in lieu of a mirepoix. Get all that in there. I promise sometime in the future I will invest in a hands-free camera, but until then, it's what I got. So, just like how we did the, what was it, the last thing I made? The barbecue sauce. We're gonna let all these veg sweat down. Let them all sweat down. And before I even get to it, well, later when I get to it, gotta collect my thoughts. I'm just gonna show you what I have here. That right there is a chicken and shrimp stock. Earlier today, I boiled. I had a mirepoix, which is almost like the Trinity I just did, but instead of bell pepper, you use carrots. I cooked them a little bit, roasted them, whatever. When they got to the color that I liked, I threw in chicken quarters, and I let that go for a few hours till the chicken was falling off the bone. When I got home earlier, when I went to the market, I also bought shrimp with the heads off but shell on. When that was done, when I took the chicken out, I threw in the shrimp shells, so it's gonna have a seafood chicken flavor to it. A little bit of bullet bourbon. Whew. Okay, where did I put them? Okay. After a while, I'm gonna add these spices to it. Let's see if I can remember. 2 tablespoons of salt, 2 tablespoons of paprika, 1 tablespoon of cayenne, half a tablespoon of black pepper, a quarter of a teaspoon. A teaspoon of chili powder. Half a teaspoon of onion powder and garlic powder. The green vegetables are looking very bright and vibrant, but that happens when you cook. When you saute them, boil them, steam them, just looks very pretty. It's smelling very nice in here right now too. Very aromatic. Now, typically, a traditional gumbo will take a few hours to make. Reason being, just lets all those flavors mesh and meld perfectly. Now, sometimes I gotta make with what I have to make do with. That kind of makes sense. Anywho, so typically in gumbo you use andouille sausage. I couldn't find any at the local grocery store by me, so I ended up getting these these hot sausages. Italian, what the fuck? Hoffy brand. They're actually really good. Have a nice spicy kick to it. So yeah, in lieu of the andouille, I'm gonna use this. Okay, these are looking pretty nice, so I'm gonna throw this in. Typically, from time to time in my videos, you're gonna hear people talking in the background. Don't mind it. So I'm not gonna cook these down. I'm just gonna bring them up to temperature. So the chicken that I used was this right here. Chicken quarters, leg and thigh. I honestly didn't even taste it yet. Has a very mild flavor to it. I didn't add too much salt to the to the stock when I was making it, because I'm gonna add more salt to the gumbo as it progresses. Smell of peppers and sausage and onion. It smells so damn good. Oh, you know what? I'm a fucking douche. I just realized something. I didn't add any fucking garlic cloves to this. That's a big no-no. I mean, god damn it. I added garlic to this while I was cooking the stock, but still, I love using garlic and everything. I have garlic powder in the spice mixture, but yeah, it tastes like garlic, but you can tell the difference between that and fresh garlic. Excuse me for a minute. Yeah. Okay, so this is smelling wonderful. Okay, I was just checking the stock pot to see if it was cool enough for me to handle it with one hand. It is. So, here we go. Oh man, you can just smell the shrimp off of that. See this? Oh, again, not a lot of salt in there. Oh, but that shrimp and chicken flavor in that stock is great. Okay, here goes the spices. Now, it may not look like a lot, but a little does go a long way. Oh, look at that color. Beautiful. Oh, typically, I will add this. Now, this shit is powerful. Again, a little goes a long way. Typically, maybe a teaspoon will do. I typically don't use cumin in my cooking anymore. Not because I don't like it. I actually love it. It's just my fiance hates the flavor of it. So, like I said, a little goes a long way. There we go. That was like an eighth of an eighth of an eighth of an eighth of a fucking teaspoon of cumin. Mix it up. Now, like I said earlier, I do have shrimp, but I'm not going to add that to the very end Shrimp cooks fast, especially in this. I don't want it to overcook and it tastes like ass. Okay, so I'm going to stop them right here, bring it up to a boil, and then when it gets to where I want it, I'll come back and we'll finish.